What's up, guys? Nintendo Nick here. Welcome back to another review. Today we're going to be reviewing the Nintendo Switch. Now, I've had the Nintendo Switch since day one, which was March 3rd of 2017. And so basically I've had it for 2 months, which is kind of crazy. And yeah, I decided today, why not review it? Because those 2 months have been pretty good. And Nintendo Switch is an awesome handheld slash console. So if you don't know, Nintendo Switch is Nintendo's newest console, but it also is a handheld, which is really cool because if you're a console fan, you'll love the Nintendo Switch, but if you're a handheld fan, you'll also love the Nintendo Switch because it's both. And the price of the Nintendo Switch is $300, which again isn't really bad because you're basically getting 2 for 1. You're getting a handheld and you're getting a console. So yeah, Nintendo Switch, you can plug it on this like little dock to project it on your TV, but you can also take the little pad and the 2 Joy-Cons, which are the 2 controllers, with you basically anywhere. So yeah, it's pretty cool, and it's basically what the Wii U should have been, because personally I thought the Wii U was portable with the tablet thing, also known as the gamepad, but apparently it wasn't. But they fixed that with the Nintendo Switch, where it is now portable. And I do have to say, it is very comfortable in your hands. Like the little Joy-Cons, even though they're really small, they do fit in your hands, and I do have pretty big hands, but they do fit pretty comfortably, and I really do like them. As for the little tablet, it is a bit annoying. Most of the time it doesn't really fit in my pocket, so I usually have to put it in like a backpack or something like that. So it's not really that bad, but I do wish that I could put it in my pocket more. But, you know, you're having these great games that run on a TV are basically running the same thing on a little tablet, which is still very impressive, but it's a little bit bigger than I expected, and it's a bit annoying. But it's also a benefit too, because some games you'll play with another player, giving one of the Joy-Cons to one of your friends, and having the split screen on a bigger screen is kind of better. One thing that I didn't really like was the kickstand. The placement of the kickstand is like on the left, I think, or on the right, which is really annoying. I don't get why it's not in the middle, and it's very flimsy, very breakable, and just found like it very not useful. So yeah, it wasn't really that good, because like if you press the other side without the kickstand, you basically just fall over, and it was very annoying. But the battery life for the tablet is pretty good, and I basically got through the day with the tablet almost every day. I don't think I've ever ran out of battery, and I don't even think I got to low battery, which is 20%. So yeah, the games that I do play on it were Breath of the Wild, which I felt like the battery did drain a little bit faster than me playing like Fast RMX or Snipper Clips or Snake Pass, which are the 4 major games that I played. I also got 1-2 Switch for the heck of it, and that game didn't really waste that much battery either. But yeah, I felt like the battery life was just enough to get me through the day, which is pretty good. It doesn't have as good as battery life as 3DS, but it still is very good to get me through the day, as like the 3DS would get me through the day but would still have like 75 to 50% battery life. The Switch got me through the day, and like I had 36% battery life, which is still pretty good. And it's amazing that you can play with 2 players and have like all the graphics as like a TV can. Anyway, the Switch does come with a little Joy-Con grip that puts the 2 controllers together, so if you don't want to have one in each hand, you can have like a little grip that puts the 2 together. On one of the Joy-Cons, there's like an IR camera, which is pretty cool. It works in, I think, 1-2 Switch, where you do an eating contest, but it's not very well used, I guess, because in the presentation they actually said that it can distinguish between a rock, papers, and a scissors, which is pretty cool, and I would like to see more of it. There's also HD Rumble in the Joy-Cons, which you can actually feel real things, which is actually really cool. Like there's this game called Ball Count in 1-2 Switch, where if you roll it around, you can actually feel it. Actually feels like you're holding balls in a little box, which is really cool, and I hope to see more of it. But yeah, Zelda didn't really have much to offer other than it being portable for the Switch, mainly because the port from the Wii U version. So there really wasn't anything special like HD Rumble or anything that the Switch had special for it, which I kind of didn't really like, but other than that, it was pretty good. As for the console itself, like plugging it on the TV, it's very simple. The only thing that I don't like is the dock, and the dock doesn't really have any felt pads or anything, so you kind of have to get like a sheet or something to basically protect yourself from the screen getting scratched, which is really annoying, and I really didn't like it because my screen actually did get scratched from the dock. So yeah, I don't know why there weren't any felt pads. It looked like they were felt pads, but when I went to feel them, they weren't felt pads. So that was really a stupid part on them. But other than that, just put it in carefully, or just like put a screen protector or like a little felt pad on the dock, and you'll be fine. But yeah, instantly, like, you just put the tablet on the dock and it will instantly go on your TV. I did have a problem though, for some reason, for my TV. Whenever I put it on, like it was on like HDMI 4, which is the HDMI that I use, it automatically went on to HDMI 1. Like, it reset my TV to go to HDMI 1 for some reason. But other than that, it goes on instantly once you first put it on, and it's really well done in my opinion. Like, you could be playing something and you put it on and it'll just resume right away, which is really cool. But I wouldn't recommend it, because I would recommend pausing it, because you never know what will happen, especially in like Breath of the Wild or something like that. But yeah, other than that, there really isn't much else to talk about. There is a capture button to take screenshots on the Switch. The other thing that I want to mention is that there really wasn't any music for the Switch. Like, there's no menu music, there's no Nintendo eShop music, and yeah, it was kind of boring, I'd say. But the menu, everything else looks pretty good, but the fact that there's no like music for the home menu and the eShop and all that stuff is kind of annoying, but it didn't really bother me that much. I did want music for it, but we didn't get any. Also, there's no internet browsing. I don't know why, but you can actually hack it to internet browse, but there isn't any if you don't hack, and I really don't get why, but they didn't add any internet browsing. And talking about internet, there actually isn't there is games that you can play on the internet, but after fall you'll have to pay, which is kind of annoying. But other than that, it's free for now till fall, so it's not that bad. But I really didn't use the online that much. I used it for Fast RMX, which I think is the only game that I can use it for. But it worked pretty well. There really weren't any problems. But yeah, it was great to have the online for free now. But like, you really want to use it as much as you can before you have to pay for it, which can be annoying for like especially Splatoon 2, which you'll be online for most of the time. But we'll see till then. Also, another thing I want to mention is that the eShop doesn't have any virtual console games, and also like you can't have your credit card data saved on the eShop, which I also felt really annoying. But yeah, also the system updates and like the downloading of the games are pretty fast. Apparently they're faster in sleep mode, but yeah, they go pretty fast and download pretty fast. Also, there is some desync issue, but they fixed that in a update, and so that fixed. But it was a desync of, I think, the left Joy-Con. But it kind of did annoy me a little bit. I only had it like I think 3 times, but other than that, it's pretty good. I think the main reason that happened was because I had my Nintendo Switch behind my TV, so I think it was blocking it, but then I put it in front of my TV and it worked perfectly. So it works pretty fine if you don't have anything blocking it, kind of like the sensor bar works. And talking about the sensor bar, there are some games, I haven't gotten them, but I heard World of Goo, you can actually use it, but it uses the motion control instead of a sensor bar, because there is no sensor bar that comes with the Switch. And I heard it's kind of annoying and you have to keep syncing it. I've seen like the BitBlock play it and they were kind of annoyed with it. So I haven't experienced it myself, but hopefully I don't really do much of that, because I can see it being annoying, especially if you're like if you're doing like a fast-paced game. But yeah, there's also a Pro controller, which as you can see on the screen, I think it goes for like 60 bucks, and it's basically a upgrade from the Wii U Pro controller. Apparently it has less battery life. It has it's not as good, I heard. There's a secret message on the Pro controller that's pretty cool. But yeah, you can't even use the Wii U Pro controller. You can't use like a Wii remote, which is kind of annoying, but I get that like you have to use certain controllers, but seriously, the Wii U Pro controller is basically the same thing as the Switch controller, so why can't I use it? Like, I think it has the same sync setup, so why can't I use my Wii U Pro controller? And it has better battery life, so it doesn't make any sense, but I guess because there's a power button on the Wii U Pro controller. But yeah, that's another thing though, you can't really turn off the Nintendo Switch with the controllers, which I found pretty annoying. It kind of wants you to go in sleep mode constantly. Like, you'll press the home menu or you'll press the power button and it'll say sleep mode, but you actually have to hold the power button down in order to shut it down completely, which I found a bit annoying because you have to walk up to the Nintendo Switch itself and turn it off instead of using a controller. So I found that annoying, but then again, you have to put the Joy-Cons onto the Switch in order to charge them, so it kind of makes sense that you have to turn it off the same way you have to put the Joy-Cons on. So it kind of reminds you to charge the Joy-Cons. But anyway, the Joy-Cons actually have a good amount of battery life. They have like 21 hours, so you won't really be charging them that much, and you can go through many gameplays without having to charge them. There is a battery pack that is coming out. Don't really know why, but there is. But yeah, it's as long as you just put them back on the Switch, and when you're done, you'll just never have to charge them. And I never found them at like a low battery, which is really surprising. Like, you have the Wii remotes that run on normal batteries, and those go out like probably 21 hours, but these are chargeable batteries and they go out in 21 hours, which is pretty impressive, to be honest. As for the controllers, like, the design is pretty cool. I do like how they're kind of symmetric to each other. It makes sense because they'll have the same controllers. I do find it annoying though that one controller has a home button and one has the capture button. So if you give it to a friend, like if you want to change the game and your friend doesn't know how to, you have to take their controller, press the home menu, and then go to the game that you want. As for the games themselves, there really weren't many. As I said, I only had 4 of them, being 1-2 Switch. Actually, I had 5. 1-2 Switch, Fast RMX, Snipperclips, Breath of the Wild, and Snake Pass. So yeah, and to be honest, I've basically beaten all of them, mainly because I had the availability of it, taking it portably, and also having it at my home. So I basically beaten all those games, and Breath of the Wild is a major game, but yet I beat it because it's already been 2 months, and I've beaten all the other games. So to be honest, there really aren't that many games, and I'm constantly going to my Wii U, playing like other games that I want to play, like on Virtual Console and all that stuff, because I have them on the Wii U, but yet again, you can't transfer them to the Switch, or at least yet, because Virtual Console's not out, and also because of the fact that there's Homebrew and I can hack and play a bunch of games on there. So yeah, but other than that, there are a decent amount of games, but I'm not really willing to spend the money on. But yeah, really recently I haven't really been playing the Switch that much because I've beaten all the games. But I do go back to it constantly to like maybe play with my friends and stuff like that, like Fast RMX and Snipper Clips and 1-2-Switch. But other than that, I mainly haven't really played that much recently. But in the past 2 months, I have played quite a bit of it, and I did really enjoy Breath of the Wild, especially being able to play it portably, and Fast RMX, and especially Snipper Clips. Like, that was a great game, to be honest, and I'm glad that I was able to have it portably and have 2 controllers so that I would be able to play with a friend next to me and solve puzzles and be able to like talk to them and solve puzzles together, which was really cool. And I hope there's more multiplayer games, and that's kind of saying a lot because there are 3 out of the 5 games that I played or that I have are multiplayer games, which is a good sign because I do want to see more multiplayer games to be able to play one controller with one friend and one for me. So yeah, and I do know there is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but I haven't gotten that yet, mainly because I had it on my Wii U. But yeah, I did play Splatoon 2 Test Fire, which was easy to download, easy to play, and the controls for that I felt like were a bit annoying because I think there's only one of the controllers had motion in them and one of them didn't, and especially when you're playing with the pad itself, you have to like constantly move it and move it around and stuff like that. But if you detach them, it's a lot easier though. But I did find it annoying that I think only one of them had motion on them, and they could also be annoying in Breath of the Wild because there were a couple puzzles that you had to use the gyroscope, and I think only one controller has gyroscope, which really annoyed me. But other than that, the straps were pretty annoying, which come with the console. If you put them on the wrong way, they are a bit annoying to get them back off. But as long as you put them on the right way, they're kind of easy to take off, but they actually are a bit hard though. But yeah, they were annoying though. Anyway, I think that's gonna be it for today, guys. So Switch, it's a really cool console and also a handheld. Thank you guys all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more reviews right here on Tell Nick. Bye.